Welcome back to our channel, where we embark on a captivating journey through the sacred texts, uncovering the hidden depths of ancient wisdom. Today, we delve into the final chapters of King Solomon's life, a tale filled with wisdom, wealth, and the perils of power. Solomon, the wise and beloved king of Israel, ascended to the throne amidst family rivalries and political intrigue. Chosen by God himself, Solomon's reign was marked by unparalleled wisdom and remarkable achievements. From the construction of the magnificent Temple of Jerusalem to his diplomatic alliances with neighboring kingdoms, he brought prosperity and unity to his people. But amidst his grandeur, lies a vulnerability that brings his reign to the precipice of destruction. But how did it all end? Was Solomon's wisdom enough to overcome the challenges he faced, or did his own actions lead to his downfall? What lessons can we glean from the rise and fall of this legendary king? Join us as we unravel the captivating story of King Solomon, where wisdom meets vulnerability and choices shape destinies. Don't miss out on this enlightening exploration. Hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's embark on this fascinating journey together. Let's get started. Solomon, the son of King David and Bathsheba, emerges as a prominent figure within the biblical texts. He is renowned for his unparalleled wisdom, immense wealth, and his pivotal role in the construction of Jerusalem's temple. However, his path to the throne of Israel was fraught with challenges and familial intrigues. Following David's passing, his son Adonijah made a brazen attempt to seize power. Yet, through the prophetic intervention of Nathan and Bathsheba, Solomon, the chosen one of God, was rightfully crowned as the king. The divine revelation given to David, as recorded in the first book of Chronicles 22, was unequivocal. God declared, "You have shed much blood and fought many wars, therefore, you shall not build a temple in my honor. Instead, it shall be your son, a man of peace and tranquility, who shall undertake this sacred task in Jerusalem." And so it came to pass that Solomon, graced with the name that signifies peace, brought serenity to Israel throughout his reign, quelling all adversaries that surrounded the kingdom. Solomon, whose name derives from the word shalom meaning peace, is also referred to in the Bible as Jedediah, which signifies being beloved by the Lord. The reign of King Solomon over Israel spanned approximately 40 years, taking place between 971 and 931 BC. While the early years and youth of Solomon's life remain largely unknown, we can establish a contextual understanding based on biblical accounts of David's family life. David, known for his multiple wives, faced numerous familial challenges, resulting in power struggles and intrigues among his wives and children. Solomon emerges within biblical history during a tense period within the royal family, as the battle for the throne of Israel unfolds due to King David's old age and weakness. Before this pivotal episode, Absalom, Solomon's half-brother, attempted to seize their father's throne, but his efforts were in vain. Later, Adonijah, David's eldest surviving son, also sought to proclaim himself as the king of Israel, echoing Absalom's failed attempt. Adonijah garnered the support of Joab, David's former general, and the priest Abiathar. He made several endeavors to occupy the throne, including organizing a coronation festival. However, upon learning of Adonijah's plot, the prophet Nathan, the priest Zadok, and other allies worked together to remind David of the promise regarding Solomon as his rightful successor. Consequently, David issued orders pertaining to Solomon's ascension to the throne, and he was anointed as the king of Israel, most likely by Zadok, during his coronation. At the time of his coronation, King Solomon was likely no more than 18 years old. He commenced his reign by fostering stability and unity within the kingdom. What set Solomon apart from other leaders of his time was his remarkable wisdom, which was his most prominent attribute. In the early days of his reign, Solomon established a profound covenant with God, showcasing not only his wisdom but also his intention to seek divine guidance in governing. The details of this covenant and its conditions are documented in the first book of Kings, specifically in verses 3 to 14 of chapter 3. The significant incident unfolded in the city of Gibeon, where Solomon presented offerings before the Lord. That very night, God appeared to Solomon through a dream, extending an invitation to request anything he desired. Solomon, acknowledging his humble position as the leader of Israel, expressed his need for wisdom to govern and judge with fairness. He recognized his complete reliance on God to provide guidance and make righteous decisions that would benefit the people. By choosing wisdom over personal gain or success, Solomon demonstrated his aspiration to lead with integrity and justice, embodying the qualities of a wise and devout ruler. God's response to Solomon's plea was extraordinary. He commended Solomon for his choice and, in addition to granting wisdom, promised unparalleled blessings of riches and honor. This remarkable display of wisdom is exemplified in the famous account of two women disputing the maternity of a child. According to the narrative in the first book of Kings, 3:16-28, these women lived together and gave birth around the same time. Sadly, one child died, leading both women to claim the surviving child as their own. Seeking justice, they appeared before King Solomon. Rather than hastily deciding the matter, Solomon proposed an ingenious solution, splitting the child in half and giving each woman an equal portion. The response of the women revealed the true mother. The woman who genuinely loved the child pleaded with the king to spare the child's life and suggested giving the child to the other woman. The other woman, who was not the biological mother, agreed to the division. Solomon's wise judgment identified the true mother, the one willing to relinquish the child to protect it from harm. Consequently, he decreed that the child be given to the genuine mother. Solomon's wisdom was further demonstrated through his remarkable accomplishments, notably the construction of the Grand Temple of Jerusalem. This monumental undertaking served as the spiritual and cultural heart of the kingdom, symbolizing God's abiding presence among the people of Israel. The temple's magnificence not only showcased Solomon's administrative prowess but also reflected the opulence and prosperity of the kingdom. While the desire to build the temple originated with Solomon's father, King David, it was Solomon who carried out this noble endeavor. The biblical narrative meticulously describes the intricate details and precious materials employed in the temple's construction, such as cedar from Lebanon for the structure and pure gold for the adornments. These details exemplify the king's dedication and reverence towards God. The chosen location for the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah, held deep symbolic significance as the very place where Abraham demonstrated his faith and obedience by being willing to sacrifice his son, Isaac. This act of faith preceding the temple's construction emphasized the enduring special relationship between God and his people. The Temple of Solomon emerged as the spiritual and cultural epicenter of Israel, uniting the people in worship and devotion. In addition to his wisdom, Solomon devoted himself to building international alliances, fostering trade, and strengthening diplomatic relations. A notable example of these external relations was the visit of the Queen of Sheba, who came to test Solomon's wisdom. These events are recorded in the first book of Kings, 10:1-13, and the second book of Chronicles, 9:1-12. Upon her arrival in Jerusalem, the Queen of Sheba posed perplexing inquiries to Solomon, putting his wisdom to the test. According to biblical accounts, Solomon effortlessly answered all her questions, leaving nothing unexplained. The queen's voyage to Jerusalem was accompanied by a magnificent procession, laden with an abundance of spices, gold, and precious gemstones. The exchange of gifts during her visit underscored the high level of diplomacy involved in this encounter. In addition to hosting the Queen of Sheba, Solomon forged diplomatic ties with various kingdoms, solidifying alliances through marital unions with princesses from neighboring nations like Egypt and Phoenicia. Such alliances were customary during that era, aimed at strengthening relations and fostering peace among kingdoms. Nonetheless, throughout his reign, Solomon was not impervious to failure. Despite his renowned wisdom and grandeur, his story is also marked by errors and deviations that ultimately had significant ramifications for his government and the history of Israel. One of Solomon's major missteps was his involvement with foreign women, in direct violation of divine instructions. The Book of Kings, chapter 11:1-3, recounts that Solomon had numerous foreign wives, including the daughter of the Pharaoh, and married princesses from neighboring nations, disregarding God's law that prohibited unions with women who worshipped foreign gods. These marriages were more than political alliances, they introduced foreign cultural and religious influences into Israel. The foreign wives brought with them their religious practices, which gradually exerted a negative influence on Solomon. He began to tolerate the worship of various idols and partake in rituals that contradicted the exclusive worship of the God of Israel. The culmination of this deviation was the construction of temples dedicated to the idols worshipped by his wives, a direct violation of God's commandments. This apostasy, including the erection of altars, marked the final days of Solomon's reign, as detailed in the first book of Kings, chapters 11 and 12. This period was characterized by a mixture of glory and shadows, revealing the complexities of life and governance. Solomon's previous choices, particularly his marriages to foreign women and acceptance of the worship of foreign idols, began to have a detrimental impact on his reign. God's anger manifested itself by raising adversaries against Solomon. One such adversary was Jeroboam, a trusted official who rebelled against the king and eventually became a prominent leader, leading the northern tribes. Solomon's death signaled the end of an era. After a reign of 40 years, he passed away, leaving behind a legacy that included the majestic construction of the Temple of Jerusalem and an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. The Bible does not provide specific details about the exact cause of Solomon's death. However, in the first book of Kings, chapter 11:41-43, it is mentioned that the remaining story of Solomon, his actions, and the wisdom he demonstrated, are written in the book of the Acts of the Kings of Israel. He was laid to rest with his ancestors and buried in the city of David, alongside his father. His son, Rehoboam, succeeded him. With Solomon's demise, Rehoboam ascended to the throne, resulting in the division of the kingdom of Israel into two, the northern kingdom led by Jeroboam and the southern kingdom primarily consisting of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, led by Rehoboam. Thus, the last days of Solomon were followed by a tumultuous transition for his son, who witnessed the division of the kingdom built by his father and had to face the consequences of Solomon's choices. Solomon's story serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of ethical and spiritual decisions and their long-term consequences in the life of a leader and the destiny of a nation. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey through the sacred texts. We hope this exploration has enriched your understanding and provided insights to ponder. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider sharing your thoughts and engaging in further discussions. We look forward to continuing our exploration of characters from scriptures and the profound lessons they offer. Until next time, may wisdom and discernment guide your path. May you find peace, purpose, and fulfillment in your own quest for truth. God bless you and see you soon.